Hi everyone, this is Wyland. I'm here at my studio gallery in beautiful Laguna Beach. Weather's awesome. November, and we have the most beautiful weather you've ever seen. The ocean's a little chilly. I got to tell you, I went out there for a swim the other day, but anyway, we're really happy to present this art lesson now to all the young artists throughout the U.S. and around the world. So anyway, you know, if I ever wanted to be anything, I would be an art teacher and a coach, but I can't take that kind of pay cut, as you guys know. And a lot of people would be unemployed. So anyway, we're going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to teach you guys today how to take a blank canvas and create a beautiful ocean scene. I've really got sharks on my mind. I swim with a lot of sharks. I'm a diver. You know, I've been diving the ocean all over the world, Antarctica, the Arctic, diving with great whites in Guadalupe, Mexico, out of the cage, by the way, once in a while. Sometimes they come in the cage. So we're probably going to paint today a blue ocean, and we're going to feature the great white shark, one of the top predators on the planet. So this will be really exciting. And listen, for the ladies, for the girls, you don't have to worry about sharks or man-eaters. You're fine. So actually, none of us have to worry about sharks because we're not on the menu. And in fact, sharks have to worry about us because we're killing nearly 100 million sharks a year for shark fin soup primarily, and we don't need it. So anyway, mine is always about art and conservation. And the Wyland Foundation, we're celebrating 27 years of art and conservation this year, 27 years. So please check out the Wyland Foundation and see the programs we do. So we do two really nice programs. We do a National Mayor's Challenge for Water Conservation, where we encourage all of us to be water wise, to conserve, protect, and respect our water. We have plenty of water, but we're not taking care of it. So anyway, that's one of our programs. That's generally in the spring. And in the fall, we bring the Wyland National Art Challenge. And the theme is generally art and conservation. And this is part of it. This is the first time we've ever done an art lesson live for our beautiful art challenge. And by the way, the art challenge takes place right around October 1st to December 1st. So it's free to every school, every classroom, online learning like we're doing right here. Anyway, you can get your art. If you win, you can be in our calendar with Toro. This is a beautiful calendar of all our past winners. Every year we do this. We show this beautiful art. Look at these artists. Oh my God. So anyway, this is going to be fantastic. And, you know, just to be honest with you, art is important not only to artists, okay? It's important for your education because art inspires creative thinking. And we need more creative thinkers. And so I'm seeing art disappear out of our schools. We need to put more art back in our schools. I love our art teachers. And in fact, I had an art teacher kind of caught me drawing in the back of the class. And I thought I was in trouble. She wanted to see me. And it turns out she was an artist. And my first grade teacher, after we drew for about an hour, she said, you know, Wyland, you could be a great artist. I kind of perked up a little. So that's what this is really about. It's about me kind of sharing what I know about painting. And by the way, I'm 64. I've been painting since I was 4 years old. So I've never had to get a real job. Yeah, I was always an artist. I remember my mom, who's sitting right over there watching this, Darlene. Hey, Mom. Hi. She says hi. She came to me at 16. She said, are you going to get a job? I said, I have a job. I'm an artist. And she goes, okay. Remember that?
Yeah, but your brothers.
Uh-oh. Yeah, my brothers wanted me to get a job in a factory in Detroit, and that didn't sound good. So listen, you guys pay attention. You don't have to work in a factory. If you do, it's good too. It's all good. So I'm kind of the Mike Rowe of art and business and all that. You know, I want artists to be successful and give something back. But anyway, I'm going to start with a little sketch, and I always recommend that. So the first thing I would say is, you artists, get a little sketchbook. I draw every day. It's like a basketball player like Jordan shooting layups. So try to draw a lot, and you can draw on the computer too. Just just be creative. Be creative. Have fun. So here we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little pen and I'm going to do my drawing of a great white shark. So let me bring it down here. I'm going to put it on this canvas that we're going to paint. But you guys should start with a little sketch. So grab your sketch paper and maybe a little pen or a pencil. This is how I do it. I generally draw the ocean first, or paint the ocean, and then I imagine the animal swimming in it, swimming in that ocean realm. So anyway, so what I'm thinking here is, here's a little bit of the surface, up here, and then this is below the surface. As a diver, we get a chance once in a while to see these beautiful animals. So I'm just going to kind of generally sketch the shape of a great white shark. So here we go. So I want you to see something here. You guys are watching, right? See this? I'm doing this one right-handed. Can you guys see that? That's because I'm right-handed. Okay, I'll be over here doing this. Yeah, my jokes are just not that great, but that's why John Lovitz does the stand-up, and lets me be the artist. So, okay, so here we go. So I'm drawing a great white shark. Now I've spent a lot of time looking at these apex predators, so I kind of know what they look like. And when I'm diving in the ocean, I'm actually painting in my mind's eye. So when I get ready to draw an animal like a shark, like a great white, I can do it. So here we go. We're just drawing the shark. Now here's the tail right here, guys. I know I'm drawing fast. And I was telling Steve Creets, the president of the Wyland Foundation, that we're going to post this up on YouTube and repost it at wylandfoundation.org, right, Steve? And on Wyland, .com, all of it. So you guys can re-watch this, because sometimes I draw really fast. When you work for free, you got to work fast. And I'm doing this for free. So there you go. I'm doing this because I love it, guys. I mean, I've been an artist, like I said, since I was a kid, and it's kind of inside you. And anyway, here is a beautiful great white shark, one of the most awesome creatures on the earth. Okay, and here it has, here's the gills. They have 5 on sharks. Half the fun is studying your marine life, in my case. My art director likes some of the other animals. Greg just walked in. And anyway, whatever you love, paint that, draw that, live that. So anyway, there it is. Now let's not forget the teeth. These are the teeth, and they're a certain shape, kind of a cone shape. And I hope you guys like sharks. A lot of you students, a lot of you artists were asking me to do more sharks, so this is for you guys. And everybody take a shot at it. I'm going to come in here and kind of block that in a little darker so those teeth really stand out. So there it is. And then again, this is just above the surface. I'm keeping it kind of loosey-goosey. But we're going to paint this. But I think you should start with a sketch. I think you should just start with a little sketch, okay? And anyway, the sketches are really awesome too. A lot of my collectors like to collect these sketches. So I always sign them. Anyway, there it is. There's the beginning of your art lesson today. A drawing of the great white. So you take that off your canvas. I'm going to show it to you so you guys can see it. Does that look pretty good? Boy, a lot of you guys are checking in. There's a lot of questions. I'm going to try to answer a few, but right now I better focus on painting. But there's the mouth. You guys see that? Might come in here too. Look at that. I'm playing 2 cameras right now, Foundation and Wyland Facebook Live. So both of you guys are getting it. But there is your shark. So you guys, hopefully you got your little sketch down. And I'm going to bring that mouth right in there. Look at that. As I said, the sharks are really critical to the health of the ocean. So they're not dangerous. The most dangerous thing in the entire ocean is not a shark, not an orca, but us, okay? That's because of all the pollution we're dumping in there, the plastic. So anyway, when I paint, I try to remember what I saw when I was diving with whatever I'm painting. And I've swam with great white sharks. I've swam with tiger sharks in Bimini with Guy Harvey and Jim Abernathy and all those guys. We made a beautiful film called This Is Your Ocean Sharks. In fact, that's pretty much our theme here. So you can put your little sketch right here. And anyway, I have kind of a different way to paint. So what I generally do is I'll paint the entire ocean first. And then from your sketch, that's your inspiration, but you can move stuff around. It's really fluid. When I paint, I'm just kind of going with the flow. Really don't do paint by numbers. So I miss a couple of steps most times. I just get right to it. But I'm going to try to give you the basics of starting and finishing an original painting on canvas or on paper, on the side of a wall, whatever you guys like. So over here is some of my paint. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me move some stuff around. But here is here's a palette, and here is a bunch of my paint right here. So I have my own paint, believe it or not. In fact, here, I'll show it to you. So this is my paint, and anyway, there you go. So it's kind of hard to get because I just basically switched over to another paint company, Grumbacher, and these guys are going to feature it. But it's beautiful. It's acrylic, and I use acrylic now primarily because oil is not great for the environment. And I've been painting traditional oil paintings my whole life, but one of my favorite artists, Robert Bateman, uses acrylic. So I figure if it's good enough for my favorite wildlife artist, Robert Bateman, it's good enough for me. Plus, it's easier to work with for the kids and the younger artists, and it's better for the environment. So think about using acrylic. You can get the same effect, and I'm going to show you how. Okay? Hey, so I also want to dedicate this painting of a shark to one of the greatest photographers underwater, and that's Ernie Brooks. Ernie's facing some challenges right now. He's not feeling that great. I love the guy. He was my roommate in Antarctica and the Arctic. So Ernie Brooks, this painting today of the shark is dedicated to you. He's one of my biggest collectors, but they call him the Ansel Adams of underwater photography, black and white primarily, but Ernie Brooks, the legend. So Ernie, this is for you. All right, so one time I had a question, and the question was, when are you going to quit talking and start painting? That was funny. Kids say the wildest stuff, so I'll go ahead and do that. All right, right now you got a blank canvas, right? Okay, or paper. So I'm going to take a sponge brush. See that sponge brush, you guys? Look at that. Okay, and I'm just going to put some water in here. The water being kind of where the light's going to be. So wherever the light is, I'm going to put some water in there in the ocean. Okay. So there it is, guys. There's the beginning. I'm putting water down because it's acrylic, and then I'm going to blend the paint right into it. Now, I know this seems a little funky. You can do this flat, too. You guys can do this flat, but there it is. There's the beginning. Now, I'm going to dip right in here and start with the deepest blue in the bottom. Okay, here's the deepest blue. Now, if we were at the Museum of Modern Art, I'd be finished. Right? You guys been in there. You've seen this stuff. Actually, it's pretty good, but just kidding. So, whoops. And the truth of the matter is that every painting starts out kind of abstract. It's just some of us artists keep going. And some go, okay, I'm finished right there. But we're going to keep going. Is that okay? All right, so here we go. So this is blue. And anyway, this is ultramarine blue. And you guys know I use a lot of paint. So there it is. There's my blue. And this is ultramarine, guys, ultramarine. But you can use phthalo blue. You can use any blue. You can use purple. Whatever you guys like. Whatever you're feeling at the moment. So I'm just kind of doing bands of color. I'm just getting the color down there like that. So there we go. Getting the bands of color. Okay, there's the bands of color. And I'm moving pretty quick. With acrylic, it's going to dry pretty quick on you. So you got to move it. All right. So I'm going to set that down for a minute. I'm going to grab another one. And I'm going to squeeze out a little bit of white. Okay, watch this. So I'm going to squeeze it out right here. And I've got another fan brush. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to start thinking about, the light in the water. So I usually put the light in, and then I blend the paint into it, and then I pull the light through the paint. Sounds hard, it's not that hard. Okay, here we go. Okay, so there's some nice white in there right now. And maybe I'll get a little heavier right in here. Look at this, so you can see the white. White on white's a little tough. But there you go, guys. All right, there you go. There you go. Now let's get back into the blue. Okay, we're going to get back into the blue. And then again, I wanted to show like my drawing here. I was going to show a little bit of surface. So imagine yourself, if you're snorkeling or diving, you're just below the surface and you're looking at that light kind of coming through. That's what I'm trying to recreate here. All right, so here we go. And again, that's really abstract. Now you can do this with a brush, you can do it with this, you can do it with anything. The main thing is just do it. You guys heard that commercial, just do it. Okay, here we go. Whoa. Yeah, and I'm a little messy, so I want to apologize to all the teachers and parents. I'm probably the messiest artist there is, but that's okay. Okay, there we go. So anyway, that is the beginning. Now, you want to try to blend this. So let's do that. So here we go. I'm going to take the white, and I'm going to come right in the middle, and then I'm going to blend that light into it. So this, again, is just your background. You just want to be kind of loose in the beginning. And so I'm pushing pretty hard. I'm leaving that light in here, and I'm blending the gradations of blue. You see that, Greg? My art director's watching. He's seen me do this many times for our TV series. You know, I have a show on PBS too, guys, so you guys can watch that. It's nationwide. It's called Wyland's Art Studio, and we film it right here where I'm sitting in Laguna Beach. So there we go. So see how nice that's blending like that? So you're just thinking about that light right now. You're thinking about that light. And then once you drag it into the deeper blue, it creates gradations of blue. This is one color, guys. So this is monochromatic. One color. So with one color, you can create the beautiful ocean, the blue ocean. So sometimes in nature, less is more. And that's what this will be. Just a beautiful, open blue ocean. And once we have the ocean, then we'll start thinking about where the shark might be in relationship to it. Okay, so there we go. See, I'm just blending, so it just has that beautiful gradation. Okay, artists, there you go. So you can come back in here, pick up some of this. All right, that looks good. I'm leaving that light kind of coming through the middle. All right, so there we go. There we go. Steve, how's that look? Beautiful. Does that look good? Okay, so imagine there's a shark in here somewhere. In that ocean, there's a shark. You know, some people like this painting just the way it is. I've had people, some of my collectors go, I want to buy it right there. I go, no, I want to add some animals in here. Now, you can paint right now any animal that you like. If you're not big on sharks, you can do a dolphin. You can do a giant manta ray. You can do sea turtles. I paint a lot of turtles. You can paint anything you want. You can paint a coral reef down here. But it all starts with covering that canvas. You want to cover that canvas, and you can do it quickly. It's okay. And now this has to dry a little bit, but it's acrylic. If this was oil, it might take a week or two to dry. So I did the smart thing. I did another canvas so I can get right to the shark. So here we go. So here it is. Okay, so I still have my drawing. This is, you know, another backdrop of that theme. And then we're gonna basically, I'm gonna do some light rays. Let me show you some kind of cool ways to do light rays. So I'm just gonna take a little brush. Okay, this is a little flat, 1/2 inch flat. I don't know if you guys can see that. They don't even make these anymore, unfortunately, but I'm gonna take a little white and I'm gonna really water it down so it's transparent. Really water it down. And then I'm gonna think about light coming through here. Watch this. Okay, that's almost too heavy. Hang on. Okay, watch this. Here we go. Light rays coming through the surface like this. It's got to be really subtle, though. You can't use pure white. You got to water it down. Okay, so here we go. So you want to basically paint the light piercing the surface, and that's just a really good feature because that's how it looks. So you see that light kind of coming through the surface. Go ahead and get your light established, right, like that. And they're not all the same. They're kind of broken up. Less and less as you get out to the sides. And then watch that angle there. But that'll add another nice element to your painting. Okay, here we go. I'm bringing the light rays down a little more. So there it is. Yeah, once you establish the ocean, then you can start thinking about the shark in it. Okay. Now I can either draw the shark or I can draw it with a paintbrush. So I'm going to actually draw this with my paintbrush. I'm going to draw and paint in the same motion. So here we go. I'm going to grab a little white off my palette. I got a little white on there. I'm going to kind of look at my sketch and watch this. Here we go. So I'm just going to come right in, nice and bold, like this. I'm going to get that shape right there. Okay. Kind of like you drew it. So you're actually painting and drawing in the same motion. So you're painting, you're kind of sketching it, you're blocking it in, and you're doing a shark right here. Watch this. So you can even start indicating where you want the teeth. But I would suggest try to get the sketch down first. So let's take your brush and let's try to do the sketch. So let's do the sketch. So okay, here would be your dorsal fin. It's kind of a cone shape, but it could break through there a little. It's kind of a cone shape on a shark. And then see this line here? Watch this. I'm just going to go like this. I'm going to follow that line. This is how you paint a shark. Pretty exciting. Oh wait, I missed the spot. No, I'm good. Just kidding. Okay, so here we go. So right here we got boom, boom. There's the front flipper. Here is the back. And it helps to really, you know, study the animal. That's what really helps. That's what gives me the edge, I guess, that I have a chance to be in the ocean and see these things firsthand. So, you know, try to get in the ocean, try to be a diver, you know, as Dima says, you know, and all the dive community like Ernie Brooks. Be a diver. Be a diver. If you want to paint the ocean, you've got to experience it, and there's no better way than diving. Okay, so here we go. So I'm kind of sketching it. I'm kind of blocking in some of the light. So I got white on the brush, so I'm just using it to kind of block it in a little bit. So you can scratch it like that. There you go. All right. And here we go. So, boom. There we are. All right, now the eye is important. So you got to get that eye right. So study where that eye would be. It'd be right there. There's a little nostril. Okay, there we go. Hope you guys are enjoying this. Should I take a question? Want to read a question there? let me look at it. I'll see if you guys have a question. Okay, let's see. You guys asked me some questions here.
What's it like to swim with a whale for the first time?
Okay, to swim with a whale is awesome. I remember when I swam with a humpback whale in Lahaina. I had a couple of research team, Mark and Debbie Ferrari, came up to my studio in Lahaina and said, hey, I know you love whales. Would you like to swim with one? So we actually had an opportunity to enter the ocean gently. And I heard the humpback whales first because their songs, penetrate the water. Some of those songs that they sing can be heard for like 100 miles, the blue whale. But anyway, I got in, the light was coming down through the ocean, and then I saw a mother and baby whale just swim right over to me. And she kind of presented her calf. It was almost as if she wanted to reveal, her calf to me so that I could be a better artist. It made me a better artist, but I still can reflect on those first moments when I saw that mother and baby swimming in that blue open ocean. And I paint that often. So it really changed the way that I looked at whales, the whales that I paint, the art that I do is not marine art. That's traditional, man's conquest of the sea and ships. I do marine life art, and that's to celebrate these beautiful living creatures, these intelligent creatures. And while the humpback whales, I swam with blue whales in the Sea of Cortez, a 90-footer. I was out there doing a film for Discovery called Wyland, Brushwood Giants. And we're doing this documentary about all the great giant whales, the finbacks, the sei whales. We saw 70 sperm whales. And then on the last day, I got to, basically fall off a little skiff and swim with a 90-foot, 150-ton blue whale. And that thing looked right through me. So anyway, that really allows an artist to have that vision. And it sure has, helped my art. All right, and the sharks are awesome too, guys. Like I said, we're not on the menu. They're not interested in us. They're curious, though.
What sharks have you swum with?
Okay, I've swam with these guys in Guadalupe, Mexico. I've swam with them at Catalina Island. The great whites are making a big comeback. I've swam with the tiger sharks, as I said, with Jim Abernathy and his boat, and with Guy Harvey and I making a film that world premiered at the Newport Beach Film Festival. It's called This Is Your Ocean Sharks. It's fabulous, and they did a second film as well with Sean and everybody. And I swam with lemon sharks, bull sharks, great hammerheads, and bimini. Oh my God, these things were like 20-footers, just massive. So sharks are awesome, and I've never had any issue with sharks, and I've swam with some really big ones. Yeah. So sharks are awesome. Whatever the ocean brings is the way I see it. So, I swam with leopard seals in Antarctica, and they were eating penguins like popcorn. So anyway, I've had a great life of art, diving, nature, and then it all comes together here, in the art studio. So anyway, here we go. So here is your shark. Now I'm thinking about the anatomy here. I'm thinking about all the little details that I saw when I saw these things. So all that kind of enters into the painting. And so with me, it's not only about the painting. A great painting is like music. Like Van Morrison did Brown Eyed Girl. You feel it. It's about the feeling, in art. So you paint the animal, you try to have the perspective. In this case right here, you're right below the surface, and this great white is swimming right into the scene. So there it is. You guys see that? So let's go ahead and continue to sketch it. So right here, okay, right there. And the tail would be like this, guys, right here. So there's the tail. It has a little notch right there. So you might be thinking, how could you possibly do this? Well, lots of research. But paint your shark, whether it's the best shark or something like a Picasso, you know, it's all valid, it's all good. So just be creative, have fun with it. And I do want to see some of your images, so if you can email them. How do they email, Steve, to Wyland Foundation?
They can post them and
Post them and tag them?
Correct.
Yeah, post and tag. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to say something really awesome. So if you guys post and tag your favorite painting from this lesson today, I'll pick a winner. I'll pick a winner, and the winner will get my original sketch.
hashtag Wyland.
Hashtag Wyland.
Can you say that again?
So the winner of this art lesson, okay, we want you to post them, and I'll pick the winner, and the winner will be getting this original sketch that I did. So now you can go to college. Just kidding. You better go to college. All right, here we go. Okay. So there it is. So there's the tail. So I sketched it. I just got paint on my pants. Did you guys see that? Hold on. It's my only clean pants. Can you guys see that? There it is. Anyway, there we go. Okay, so where did I put? There it is. Okay. All right. Usually the music's blaring in here, so it's kind of throwing me off. So usually I have a bunch of friends here watching me paint, and my mom just left. But usually I got like Tom Petty on, or the Eagles, or whatever you guys like, AC/DC if I want to wake up. But anyway, set up a little studio space, okay? And if you're a serious artist, be serious. Dedicate your life to it like I did. This is the greatest time in history to be an artist, because you can make a great living. In fact, I wrote this book called Don't Be a Starving Artist. And, you know, I truly believe that this is the greatest time in history to be an artist, because you can make a living. So anyway, it's a real simple book. You can download it. Anyway, it's just a simple book about how to be a successful artist in the 21st century. And I give you all the little tips, and in the back of the book too, it's very important, you know. I say if you have your family and your friends and your health, you have everything. Be grateful. So don't be an arrogant artist. Try to be a nice person. Try to be a good human being. What Steve Creech and the Wyland Foundation and all our partners, Toyota, we try to put some good out there in the world. And, you know, Greg, my art director, all of us, Karen, my assistant, we believe that the Wyland Foundation, you know, our mission is to inspire people through art and conservation, but it's also to put positive things out there. And, you know, we need more of that. And art is a great way to see what kids are thinking, to see what people are, you know, thinking right, you know, today. And I'm thinking that, hey, you know, we have a beautiful world, and we need more protected areas. We need to protect the heart of the planet, you know, and Sylvia Earle, Dr. Earle does that so well with Mission Blue. And then Steve Creech, the foundation, and our partners are really focused on the arteries, you know, the rivers of hope, we call it, you know, the freshwater hope spots. So what's great is I've created this kind of different art, you know, lifestyle, and it's, you know, generally it's art or conservation. I'm kind of in the middle there. I'm kind of swimming in the middle. And I really like that, because it's the two things that I care about most, you know, art and the beautiful environment, you know, trying to create a better world. And
let's get people involved in the art challenge. They still have
yeah, and you guys know we're in the middle of our Wyland National Art Challenge right now. So if you haven't done it yet, if you're a teacher, a parent, a student, you guys can go to Wyland Foundation, be part of that. It goes till December 1st, I believe.
prizes, scholarships.
There's great scholarships and prizes. Everything is there. So I hope you guys will check that out. Go to Wyland Foundation. You're already there. And, you know, submit your art. There's the art, and there's also a mural challenge where you guys can come together and paint a mural together. And there's also photography. For the first time, we brought in photography a couple of years ago. And you guys are spectacular. I'm going to finish this painting for you too, but I also wanted to tell you that I've been bringing this National Art Challenge since 1998, and that was the International Year of the Ocean. So if you know me, I do everything big. So I said, why don't we do this National Wyland Ocean Challenge to celebrate the International Year of the Ocean? So we developed an art and science curriculum with the Ocean Institute, with Harry Helling, the scientist, marine biologist, and it was beautiful. We presented it to 120,000, schools, K to 12 and college, and 67 million students were invited to be part of this Wyland Ocean Challenge. And that's what really kicked off this National Art Challenge. And we do it every year, so we want you guys to really spread the word, let all your family and friends know. And it's free. It's always been free. And it's very powerful. A lot of those artists become professional artists. A lot of them have become scientists like Dr. Sylvia Earle and Greg Stone. So whatever you do, whether you want to be an artist like me or you want to be a scientist, art can play a very, very important role because it really inspires creative thinking. I was reading about Steve Jobs, and he said that art was more important to him than math or science. And that really made me feel great. The other thing I want you artists to know, that, the most intelligent human being that ever lived on Earth, the most intelligent human being was an artist. I was like, wow, really? Leonardo da Vinci was more intelligent than Einstein, more intelligent than any other human being. So there's hope for us artists. But anyway, never give up on art. I'm writing a book right now with Steve Creech, the president of the Wyland Foundation, called Saving Art Education in America. And I'm seeing art disappear out of our schools, and it's unacceptable to us. And I hope you guys will help support that. In fact, if you're an art teacher, if you want to submit to have a couple of paragraphs about why it's important to have art education in our schools, please email us and Steve Creech, and we'll try to get it in the book. So anyway, it's a very powerful book, and it'll be coming out next year. So anyway, I'll get back to painting, guys. Here we go. Anyway, this is the most fun you can have. I mean, sitting in a studio in Laguna Beach, Hawaii, or the Florida Keys, this is cool stuff. All right, so I want to think about that light on this animal too. It's never too early to not think about what the light's doing on the backs of the animals. So I'll just kind of start laying that in. And again, here's that dorsal fin. You can almost hear the music from Jaws, when you're doing this stuff. So there it is, okay. All right, sometimes I'm quiet. Generally I'm quiet listening to music in here. But I am going to have a sip of my coffee. Look at this, I even have a coffee cup with a whale tail on it. You guys see that? That's pretty cool. I wish it was mine. So a little caffeine, maybe a donut. That's not mine, is it? And anyway, being an artist has got to be the greatest gig. It's like a hobby that got out of control here. So I hope you guys will use your art and stay with it, man. Believe in yourself. Like I said, it's the greatest time in history to be an artist because you could make a great living and you could really do some positive, good things out there. All right, so here we go. Now the bellies of the sharks, okay? The underbelly's light. Now the reason is some of these animals have light under the belly and then darker on top, and that's really camouflage in the ocean so that they can sneak up on predators. So if you think about it, if they're up at the light surface, then they're kind of hidden in that light. If they're down deep, the darker backs kind of camouflage them so they can sneak up on their food.
How does light look different under the ocean than above?
Yeah, light is different under the ocean, obviously. What's really amazing is that the colors when you're painting a coral reef are like the rainforest, even more so. I mean, there's like fluorescent colors. I even have fluorescent colors, and have been painting reefs with, see the fluorescent colors, guys? So, today there's so many different paints and different things you can do with your art. And, the ocean light is really mysterious and awesome. And I'll tell you, when I'm diving, all the divers will tell you there's a spiritual connection. We're from the sea. We came from the sea. So, you can feel it instinctively. We're water. So we have a connection to the ocean. And anyway, when you see that light and then a shark swims into the scene or a sea turtle and you have that kind of moment, oh my God, it's life-changing. So I encourage everyone to try to experience that. And if you see a whale and you're on a whale watch, like we go out with Dana Wharf, and they do a beautiful job. They just, right off our coast here in Laguna Beach, you can see blue whales, gray whale migration, humpback whales, dolphins. It's just incredible. You don't have to go to SeaWorld, guys. You guys have it right here. The natural world is so mysterious and awesome. So there you go.
What happens when you make a mistake in art, and what do you do to fix it?
If you make a mistake, you put a fish there. Now, if you make a really big mistake and it doesn't come out, write another artist's name on there. That's what I do. No, I don't. No, you don't have to make any mistakes. In the way that I paint, guys, you can get around mistakes. Because, I do one thing and then it dictates what the next thing is. Once you have, the proportions are so critical. That's why you have to study your subjects. So, the drawing helps, but you know instinctively. See, I'm kind of ghosting. I'm kind of ghosting it in to make sure the proportions, the light, the different patterns, that everything's correct. And then you can go in a little harder, which we're going to do. We're going to go in with some really hard, details, the darkest darks and the lightest lights. So there it is. There we go. These things got some girth too. These great whites, they got a lot of girth. Any other questions, Karen, while I'm painting away? What do we got? You guys want to ask me some questions, go ahead. Now's your time.
What's going on with the oceans these days? Is it going to get better?
Well, the oceans are facing some, tremendous issues. Plastic is one of the biggest. That plastic never goes away, it breaks down. So we need to use reusable, drinking, no more plastic, guys. We need to eliminate, single source plastic out of our society. So anyway, that plastic issue, the reality is that it actually breaks down into microplastics, and then that gets eaten by fish, and then it runs up the food chain as those smaller fish get eaten by the bigger ones, and eventually the orcas. The mighty orcas eat those fish like salmon and other fish, herring, and then that goes through the whole food chain and eventually comes to us. So when you're eating fish, you might be eating plastic. But there's a real positive solution to it, and that's that young people in particular, are really taking action today, and they're finding creative ways to develop new types of plastic that's not plastic, that's biodegradable. So there's a lot of hope. I'm very hopeful in talking to young people. Probably the thing I'm most proud of is doing this. I've actually experienced painting, firsthand with over 1 million, young artists. And at every one of my Wailing Wall projects, we always invited the community to bring the kids out and paint with me. And so I count them now, 1,000,001, 1,000,002, 1,000,003. And we also have the Wyland Foundation has a mobile learning experience. It travels all around the U.S., Mexico, Canada, and kids enter it as a drop of water, and they go through the whole water cycle. So we're finding creative ways to engage people, but what I believe most is that nature, once you experience nature or you see a whale, it changes your DNA. You become, it changes you for the good. because once that's embedded in your heart and your mind, then you will always be a nature lover. You will always be a conservationist. So, unfortunately today, with COVID and then, with all these, cost-cutting things in schools, they're taking, nature out of the equation, field trips out into nature, and we need to actually have our youth more exposed to nature, to the ocean, to the forest. So I'm going to be, trying to work really hard with a lot of other really great people to continue to, bring that message. So Wyland Foundation, we're gentle environmentalists. We realize that every single human on Earth is important to ensuring that we have clean water and healthy oceans. So we actually work with the UN environment on a program called the Wyland World Challenge. Wyland World Water Challenge. Shit, I don't even, yeah. So Wyland World Water Challenge. And what does that mean? That means that all 7.5 billion people are responsible for making sure that we take care of our environment, particularly our water. So what we do is we work with top scientists like Sylvia Earle, like Dr. Greg Stone, and we learn everything we can, and then we share it forward in a creative way. And art allows us to do that like nothing else can. So you guys ready to see me paint this shark? And if you have a question coming in, you guys can yell it at me, and I'll try to answer it, okay? I'll let you guys just kind of watch this. Chapo, come here. This is Chapo. Come on, I don't know if you can see him. We've got a cool dog in the studio too. What's up, Chapo? What's up? All right. So I also have a tortoise that lives up here, a desert tortoise, but he's hibernating, so Chapo kind of stepped in. He's playing a role here. Okay, so there it is. So now I'm pretty comfortable with this sketch. So pretty comfortable with the sketch now, and then I'm going to paint it in details. So what color are sharks? Well, they're kind of a lighter belly that's going to reflect the blue, and then they're a little darker on top, everywhere thing from black to dark grays, all that. So there you go. So I'm just kind of sketching around here. Okay, how's your sharks doing? You guys doing good? I'll lean back so you can see mine. So this has a nice kind of feeling about it. Okay. So again, I'm just kind of putting the light in first, and then we'll paint the darkest darks and lightest lights, and then we'll blend all the colors. All the colors. So hopefully one day I can be an art teacher in a little town somewhere, but now, I have a pretty amazing art company, with Wyland Galleries and all that. But one day, I kind of feel like I'm an art teacher anyway, and I'm also an art student, because I'm always trying to learn things. Okay, I want you to notice one thing too, because I am teaching here. Sometimes I'm having so much fun, I forget I'm trying to teach you guys. So anyway, I'm doing the teeth. So I'm using one brush. You guys see that? One brush for this whole thing so far. So here's your teeth. I'm just using it. It's all about the touch. Right, Greg? You can't teach the touch. So you got to know when to push in hard and pull back a little. But here's the teeth right here. Anyway, if you guys are watching, a lot of you guys know me. You might not know me, but I'm the guy that painted those 101 giant ocean murals around the world. So that project was great, and what's great about it is it wasn't really about me or the art or any of it. It was about the communities, the volunteers. I'm just a volunteer myself, but it was about all of us kind of coming together. So anyway, the Wailing Wall project was awesome. It took about 27 years to do, 27 years and 4 days for the one I did at the Edgewater Hotel with Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam. Thank you, Eddie. Good job. Hope your kids are watching, your girls. Anyway, guys, there's a lot of positive things going on in the world. So shut off the news, go outside, take in that fresh air, just immerse yourself in the beauty that we still have. We have plenty of it.
Some questions about touching up your walls. You might want to let people know we're having a rally in the spring, and depending on COVID, in Sarasota.
Yep.
For the Launch the Mayor's Challenge, and you were going to touch up your wall there.
Yeah, okay. So Steve Creech says that next year, after COVID, we get this behind us, and we will. We're going to go to Sarasota, and we're going to do our Wyland National Mayor's Challenge for Water Conservation. We're going to launch it next year from Sarasota. And I'm going to redo my mural there. It needs a touch up. And, the murals outside, they're not going to last forever. But mine have lasted 20, 30 years plus. So I also want to get to Dallas, if you're watching. Dallas protected my wall. So if you're in Dallas, your city leaders, they actually took a stand and made them take a billboard off of an advertising that was covering my wall in Dallas. So Herschel Walker, my friend who dedicated it, I'm coming to Dallas next year after COVID. We're going to redo this wall for the great people of Dallas. All right? I'm coming your way, man. I love Texas. Don't mess with them. So there we go. Anyway, this is looking pretty good, eh, Steve?
Yeah.
You guys, does this feel good? Yeah. So there we go. Wow. And somebody's going to get that sketch. So you guys really, when you're painting your shark there, let's see what you got. And we'll all look at it here at the Wyland Foundation. We'll pick the winner. And then I will send you the original, and I'll do a personal dedication to you. So we really want you guys involved. And make sure, again, sign up and take part in the Wyland National Art Challenge. It's happening right now. So you got plenty of time. October 1st, and it goes all the way to December 1st. Every year, right, Steve? Yeah. You got a question?
Got one plug for you. If anybody, Wyland Foundation did a tree, a Wyland-themed tree at South Coast Plaza. It's called for their tree holiday. People can go by and see that.
Yeah, we're doing a Wyland Christmas tree, and it'll be at South Coast Plaza, and we'll have it up on our site. And anyway, it'll be themed around the ocean.
Raising money for charity.
And raising money for charity. We always try to raise as much money as we can in awareness about all these great charities, individuals and groups that are doing amazing work. The whole idea is that one person can't do it. One organization cannot do that. But if we all work together, for the health of the planet, we can have a huge impact for generations. So it's really nice to see when people and organizations work together for the big picture. So, yeah, I'm really happy with this one. So let me just do a couple of more moves. Let's see. I'm going to go in a little heavier with the white now. I'm really going to punch it, I call it. So I'm going to punch the white on here a little bit. There you go. So now that you like the proportion and everything's looking really good, go ahead and get some pure white here off your palette on your brush and just come in a little harder. Okay, come in a little harder like that. Because it's really the details, after you paint the shark, the colors, the detail. What I'm trying to do is create a three-dimensional world of the great white shark in the blue ocean. So you guys get a kick out of this. I'm actually thinking about doing an online college, YU. So you're hearing about it first. So it's probably going to be a year or two, but we want to have basically a 1 year virtual learning, right, and a certificate of graduation from YU. And it'll be really comprehensive, kind of micro if you're watching, where I teach you how to be a successful and creative artist that can actually go right out into the world and make a great living. So learn a trade to be an artist. So I think it's time, and we're working on it. We're noodling it around, but it's looking really good. So there'll be a lot of elements to it, okay? So it's a whole college curriculum in 1 year, okay? And then it's about publishing your art. My art director is going to give a course on what it means to be an art director. Also, my sculpture company, right? They're going to give some lessons on how to be a sculptor like me. Huh?
Firebird bronze.
Yeah, Firebird Bronze does all the casting of my bronzes. I'm going to ask artists like James Coleman and Walfrido to do a class. Walfrido in painting seascapes, Coleman, just the master. Anyway, it's just an idea, and I'm really liking it because this online learning is kind of the way that people are learning nowadays. And in 1 year, I'll have a master program too for the second year. But stay connected, stay connected, be part of Wyland.com, go to my Facebook, WylandFoundation.org, all of it, my Instagram. Yeah, we want you guys on everything, so be part of that, okay? And it's all positive, it's all really good stuff. It's all about lifestyle brand and giving back, how to, like I said, be good citizens, good for your community, lift everybody up high. So, all right, so here we go. I'm going to finish this for you. There we go. And I really don't know how long it takes. I just paint and see what happens. But right there, you see I'm going in a little harder with the white. Going in a little harder, and then it gets less and less light. The light's coming across. So I have two light sources, which is really unusual. So I have the natural light, and then I have the light, when I'm looking at it, I flash it as if I'm taking a photograph of the animal underwater with strobes. So there it is. So I've been really lucky to be an underwater photographer and an international scuba diver, Hall of Famer, with my hero, Jacques Cousteau. So, there's a lot better photographers like David Dubélez, my favorite, and Ernie Brooks. But I do like to take my camera virtually on every dive and try to capture some of these incredible scenes that I've encountered. But I always tell the photographers, I said, look, if I don't get the picture, I can paint it. I got a little advantage, right? There you go. So anyway, artists, I'm glad you guys are joining me. I think there's only like 20 million people watching right now. Only about 20 million. We need 30, okay? I'm kidding. I wish there was 20 million. There might be. Hey, if there was one of you watching, I'm a happy guy. Okay, so there we go. The white's almost done. Okay, the white's almost done. Okay. Greg, how's that look? That's my art director.
It's looking good.
Looks okay?
Yeah, it's looking good.
Yeah. Now, if your shark looks like a manatee, that's okay. Just go with it. Like some of the things that kids paint, some of the animals, they haven't been discovered yet. That's cool. That's how Picasso painted. So there. All right, so there it is. A couple more moves, then I'm going to come in with the darker darks. Here we go. I'm moving over in front of you just for a second. I got to cut this. Now, same brush, guys. One brush.
Someone's asking if they can see the teeth better.
Okay, you want to see the teeth? Okay, watch this. Okay, they're kind of cone shaped. They're like this. They're kind of pointy. They kind of tilt back a little, so when they bite something, they don't let go of it. Okay, I'm going to draw a tooth here for you, so hang on. Okay, so here's a shark tooth, guys. So the shark tooth would go like this. So let's say this is the mouth. Let's say that's the mouth. It goes like this. And they're kind of behind. There's a couple of rows. One snaggle tooth out there. So it's kind of like this, guys. They get a little smaller as they get back. But that's what you're talking about, like this. And they're kind of jagged too. So there's a nice detail of the tooth. And then there's kind of the jaw. Get it? Jaws. Okay. So here's the other side too. Here's the other side. Just a mouthful of teeth. There you go. Makes sense? Is that looking okay? All right, there you go. So that's it. All right, let's go in with some darker, deeper colors now. Let's go for that. So we're going to change color, and I'm going to use black now, black acrylic. And I was always told never use black. Completely wrong. Black is awesome. So anyway, here we go. So use black. You don't have to use black. You could mix black, but it's another step. I'm into just shortcuts. Just get right to it. So here's black. So I'm going to start with a little black on the eye. Now that dried right away, so I can go right into the eye. Look at this. So a nice round shark eye. Start with that. Here's a little nostril there. And then you can see all the details. Now this is in the mouth is a little darker in the mouth. So there you go. So that really helps bring those teeth. Now if it's still wet, you guys can use a little stick like this. So you can use that stick. This is called a steady stick. So in the old days, the artists would drink all night, and then the next day their hands would be like this. See, I don't do that, so my hand's pretty steady. But I'm just saying. So they would use what they call a steady stick, you know. This is why artists have a reputation sometimes. Anyway, not me, man. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I do art. I do paint. Clean living, guys. You know, I'm not saying I didn't have a margarita now and then, but yeah, clean living. Okay, look at this. Now watch this. So now your details are starting to come in. See? You guys feeling me? There you go. Okay, so, and again, you can come in with super details, or you can leave it a little loose there. All right. Since I didn't drink last night, I can put that away. All right, well, here we go. So I got black. Here's a color that you guys probably, if you watch my show, Wyland's Art Studio on PBS, Payne's Gray. This is a good color. Payne's Gray is awesome. Okay, Payne's Gray. So let's go Payne's Gray a little bit. I'm going to go Payne's Gray. And here it is, same brush. I got one brush here. All the way across, look at that. There it is. So Payne's Gray right from the nose, all the way across. Okay, and then I'm going to get a little water and a little white. Okay. So there's the darkest part. There's the darkest part, and then back here too. Okay, so there we go. So as I said, they're kind of gray, so start with that. There we go. They have some really nice coloring, but also you want to do some ultramarine blue. That's the blue that I use. Ultramarine. Use the same blue as the ocean. Okay, and then I'm just going to leave a dirty brush. I'm going to grab some of that blue now and just kind of blend it in there. So grab some blue with a dirty brush. A dirty brush is a good brush because it gives you different colors blended, already naturally blended. So there we go. So now you're just going to color in the top part of the great white is really dark, and then the bottom is light. You can keep it that simple. But it's these details, these blending of the colors. Now I'm going to clean my brush a little, come with a little more blue, and watch this. So now we're going to go three-dimensional. So we're really just painting in the entire shark now. I got some blue right into that darker black, blend it. There you go, get right up to the eye. I can't wait to see what you guys are painting. Now, if you guys do one better than me, I'm going to be happy. All right, take over when I retire next week. All right. I want you guys to be better artists than me. That would be good. Always try to get better. The way to get better, guys, is draw every day, paint every day. That's how you get good. Okay, I'm going to go back to the Payne's Gray, and I'm going to paint the nice dorsal fin up on top. So this is what you usually see when you see a shark at the surface. You usually see that dorsal fin, and here's the shape to get the shape right there. There you go. There is the dorsal. Coming right through. There you go. Little shadow off the dorsal. There you go. Now I'm going to do a little blue, a little Payne's Gray, a little white. And I'm going to sneak over here for a second. I'm painting like John McEnroe here for a second, so hang on, 2 hands. It's a little lighter right there. Okay, and I'm going to get a little more blue, a little more light. Okay, so here we go. We're going to come across the top a little bit. And right here. The trick is to try to paint, a very realistic shark. At least that's what I'm shooting for right here. Super realism. But you might want to do it abstract. You might want to go the other direction, and that's okay too. Okay, so white. Let me see where I did my white. Okay, I'm going to grab a little more white right here, so you can put a little pile on your palette there. Put all your colors on there. Okay, there we go. And let's just come under here for a second. So there's still a lot more detail to come, but we're getting there. There it is. Okay, so far so good. So you can just blend it, blend it, blend it. With acrylic, you got to blend it a little faster, but that's okay. It's okay. It's okay for it to dry pretty fast. Okay, so hang on. Let me look at it. All right, we're doing good so far. I'm going to grab some blue, some Payne's Gray, then I'm going to come behind this front flipper right there. This is a little ragged there. And let's do it. There we go. So I also say, when you're painting a shark, be the shark. I'm not sure if that means anything, but you want to be the shark. You want to be there with the shark. You want to be this shark as you're painting the soul of this amazing creature. One that really strikes fear into the hearts of people. Ever since that movie Jaws came out, people have been afraid of sharks, but the guy that created Jaws, what's his name, Steve?
Peter Benchley.
Peter Benchley, yeah. I know Wendy real well, his wife, but Peter Benchley. He spent his whole life, being an advocate for shark conservation because he knew the devastation that his movie Jaws had on sharks. But really, I think refrigerators that fall on people kill more people than sharks every year. Lightning. So, have nothing to be afraid of, really. All right, here we go, guys. So I'm just I got really the colors here. I have white. I've got the blue ultramarine. I got black. And then I have Payne's Gray. That's all my colors so far. Okay, so now I'm going to come in with a really dark black, and I'm really going to make this super black so it really punches out to the foreground right here, right now. There we go. So this will really jump out. See, I'm just cutting it. I'm using the edge to cut in. So look at that. Anyway, the great thing about being an artist too, it's very peaceful. You know, when the world gets all crazy and stuff, you just go in your studio and you can forget about all the craziness, you know, and just do your art. It's a beautiful way to relax, brings peace. Okay, so there it is. I just did the edge right there. Okay, and then I'm going to come right in here. So it's all these details, like I said, the light and the coloring of the shark and all the details that really make it come alive. Okay, here is the edge of that. Now this one's behind, so it's going to be a little less, prominent. So there you go. And there we go. All those details come. Once you fill it in, then you can come in with all the other details. Okay, so here we go. Right now I'm just painting these little fins and the back fins. Okay. So, you know, guys like Guy Harvey, you know, great artist, he's a marine biologist. So he really, when he illustrates or paints a shark, it is accurate in every way. I'm a, pure artist. So, I try to make the anatomy as close as possible. But for me, it's more about the feeling and, all that. But I do bring some science into my art, because I think that's important to tell the story. But more importantly, to me, it's the feeling behind, the painting. Okay, so we are totally getting there now. Does it look good on the screen? Yeah, it's feeling pretty good. Still pretty flat. Now you have the shark and the ocean, and the shark and the ocean are going to get married here pretty soon. And anyway, I'm just giving you a heads up. That's what's going to happen. I'll show you how to do that. But right now, you got to paint the shark first. You painted the ocean, and then Steve, they're going to get married, buddy.
And I thought we were just going to see a painting.
Yeah, no, you're going to see a marriage under there, and it's all good. Usually, right about now, Steve Creech tells a joke, but he's holding back, folks. You want to get around people that are fun too. My team here is fun, and Karen brought donuts, so that's good too. Okay, so here we go. There we go. Okay, so there we go. Again, one brush, guys. This whole thing, one brush so far. Okay, so there we go. There we go. And bam! Sometimes you feel like emerald over here. All right, here we go. Back to the McEnroe two-handed stroke there. Hey, however it feels good in your hand, it's like playing an instrument. But it is about the touch. I can't overestimate that. Okay, so here we go. Now here's the thing that's going to make it a little 3D. Now I'm going to clean my brush really good because we need a little darker, kind of under belly. So I'm going to use a little Payne's Gray, a little blue, and I'm going to make that a little darker underneath. So here we go.
What size brush are you using right now?
This is a 1/2 inch flat. 1/2 inch flat. Okay, so here it goes. Guys, ready? So we've got a little darker underbelly color, kind of white, ultramarine blue, and a little Payne's Gray. Now watch what this does. So instead of this being flat, it'll be totally three-dimensional. So I'm just going to lay it in there kind of towards the bottom first. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of wipe it off. And then watch this. Now I'm going to blend it in there. I'm going to come right to the edge. Right to the edge, right there. Ooh, look at that. That's looking 3D now. That's what I'm shooting for. Trying to paint a very realistic great white shark. There it is. So I'm going to come right in here. Wow. Right there. Look at that. That adds so much to it. That little blending from darker to lighter. So there it is. Some of these sharks are really scarred up too because they fight a lot. The males and females kind of go at it. Okay, so there we go. Hey, I don't know if you guys saw, but David Attenborough has a beautiful film on, I believe, PBS. But it's phenomenal on nature and his life, like, you know, being out there making documentaries about wildlife and nature. But check that out, David Attenborough. He's like 90 years old. He's just like one of my heroes. Okay, so there we go. If you guys haven't seen that, that's phenomenal. Okay, there we go. And here we go. Okay, there we go. So you're just going to try to blend that a little bit.
Do you have a shade of black you're using? Is there such a thing?
Black is black, but my black is the blackest black. I have my own black, and it's really dark. Yeah. So, yeah, black is generally black. You know, you got Mars, you got ivory black, and then we have my black.
Some just ask Mars.
Yeah, Mars black and ivory black. Mars is probably the darkest black till you get to mine. Okay, so there we go. Now this is farther back in the water, so here is kind of a nice tricky little move that that I use. So put a little more blue in there. And again, this is part of the shark getting married to the ocean. So now the ocean is washing over the shark. So, and that's done transparent glazing, a little glazing. So I added a little more blue to what I was doing earlier. And there it is. So there's a little blue. So even that really helps. And then I'm going to take some of that blue, a little bit of that blue, and I'm going to come in here, watch this, and this will, again, make it look more underwater. Because you don't want the shark to be coming off the ocean. You want it to be part of the ocean. You want it to be in the ocean. So here's a shadow right here. It's going to make a shadow. So that'll pop that up a little. Watch this nice little shadow right there. Simple. And then I'm going to pop that up there. Now watch this shadow right here. This is how you do a shadow. And this is all going to make sense. So there's a nice shadow there. And then I can take that same color. Notice I just leave that color on the brush and just bring it throughout. There you go. So acrylic dries right away. So you gotta really work a little faster. But you also can come and do glazes because it dries right away. The old masters used to do a lot of glazing of colors. There you go. So that's starting to really feel pretty nice. You'll feel it while you're doing it when it's right. Okay, there it is. So I'm going to grab that blue a little. And this is another little tricky move right in here. So again, that blue now, I'm marrying it to the ocean. There it is. So grab a little Ultramarine Blue and just keep marrying it. Okay, now they're getting married, guys. Okay, so now they're getting married. I can do that up here too a little bit. And I'm taking a little blue, come right in here, come right over the edge there. Now watch this, a little blue here, it just puts that back in the water. As you want the shark's face coming forward. That's where the drama of the scene comes in. So again, now I'm just taking blue, kind of adding some blue in there in different areas. You know, right in here too, you can kind of add a little bit of blue. It really means a lot. Right in here. Okay, and then again, right in there. Okay, now that's pretty heavy, so you can back off a little bit if you want. Okay, there you go. Sometimes I'm just quiet when I paint. You gotta think a little. Okay, there we go. All right, that's looking good. How's our time looking?
We're good.
Looking good, huh?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Little details now in that mouth, right by the teeth. Look at that. All those details really make it come alive. It's like that young Frankenstein. It's alive. Okay, a little too much coffee today. Here we go. Easy on the coffee. Why? Here we go. A little more blue in here. I could drop this even farther back. But you can still see it. It's very prominent. But a little more blue drops it back in the water. There we go. Go blue, right? I'm from Michigan, so I can say that. Go blue. Although I did go to art school. I went to art school at the Center for Creative Studies in Detroit, Michigan. Great school, definitely. I majored actually in sculpture, guys, but I can paint. So now it's just all about the subtleties of the light, everything that's going on. It's feeling pretty good. I don't know how it looks there, but it's feeling pretty good. Let's do a little light. So I just got a little white on the brush, a little light blue, and I'm going to come off the edge here a little. See how that popped out a little? Blend it. There we go. There it is. Bam! Feel like emerald over here. Okay, so here we go. So anyway, now you got your shark in there pretty good. So where do you go from here? Just little details now. Now you can play with the light. So when you add that light up there, it just brings it forward a little bit. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of that. So I'm going to add some light here on this front. In there, look at that. See, that made it come forward. Just blend it. Yeah, that's feeling really good, guys. So, you know, anybody can start one too. You got to finish. And then when you finish it, you got to sign it. Okay, so now I'm going to think about some light on the back. I'm going to clean my brush, even while it's still semi-wet. I'm going to grab some white, a little blue, a little white, and watch this. So the light's coming this way. So let's try to do a little light on the back. The light's kind of playing off the back of the shark like that. And then you can come the other direction. So you can kind of do that. There you go. Get a little bit of light design on the back. Looks cool. See that? See, and then they have a little highlight right there. Again, the light playing on the back of the shark creates some really cool stuff. Just imagine a swimming pool, that light, and then it would pick up again right here. So just kind of go like that. And then back. And all those little details add so much to your painting. Now remember, you guys can come back to this too. You can come back and work on it. You don't have to finish it in one setting like I do, unless you want to. So again, here's a little stronger lighting on the back. All right, there we go. And I'm going to come the other direction a little. So it's still a little wet, so it's kind of blending nice. Okay. Wow, this is one of my best sharks. Okay, here we go. The more you paint it, too, the better your paintings will get. So there it is, little details. Anyway, you can use a little tiny brush. Again, I've been still using this brush. But watch this. So right now, it's feeling really good, you guys. But I'm going to come in, I'm going to grab a big hunk of white. You guys see that? And then I'm just going to kind of come in here and kind of supercharge the light as it's piercing through the surface there. So I'm just going to add a little texture, a little whitest whites. Like that. So that just adds so much. Okay, so here we go. There we go. Okay, so there it is. It's really feeling like the shark's world. Now, I didn't forget the gills, and sharks have 5 generally. So now I'm going to change brush for the first time. So I got a little round. Just a little tiny round brush. And I'm going to grab the black, which they said never use. Completely wrong. All right, so here we go. Here comes the gills of the great white. So you can look at your drawing, but I kind of know where they go. So they kind of start way up there, way up there, way up there. So there's 3, 4, 5. They kind of turn in a little. So there's one of the details that really makes this a great white shark right there. Okay. And then I'm going to come back to this. And I'm going to come up here. I've still got the black on the brush, so I'm going to just punch a few areas. So as I add the dark there, it kind of brings it off the blue a little bit. But anyway, that's getting pretty close, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do something that I shouldn't show you, but I'm going to show you anyway. So with this little brush, I have a hunk of paint on there, and I call this the Rembrandt. When Rembrandt painted the eyes, they said you could hold the painting by the eyes of a Rembrandt because there was so much paint there. And he did something really smart. And you always want to learn from artists, you know, like Rembrandt, Van Gogh, Picasso, Robert Bateman. So anyway, what he taught me is that, Chapo, come here. Chapo, come here. Hi. Sorry, there's a dog here. It's so cute. Can I pick him up or not? Chapo, come here. Let me pick you up. Come here, come here. This is the guy I've been playing with. There's Chapo. Anyway, you all right? You good? Want to paint a dog? There he is. There's Chapo, guys, here. He's coming at you. Chapo, who's that? There he is. Okay. Thanks, buddy. He's a good sport. So anyway, I'm going to do the Rembrandt Eye. Yes. So the Rembrandt Eye is a big gob of paint. So watch this. Right in the eye, I'm going to put a big gob, and the light will catch it. You see that? I don't know if you can see it, but the light, the natural light is hitting in the eye. That looks cool. That looks cool. Super cool. All right, so there we go, and then I'm going to carve in around these teeth a little. And we are almost there, guys. And then right here on the nostril. And anyway, that's it. That's the original painting of the Great White. And remember, whoever sends the best picture of their painting today, from today's lesson, will get that original drawing. So Karen, where do I tell them to send it?
Just post it on Instagram.
Post it on Instagram so we can see it.
Wyland.
Hashtag Wyland.
And
What else?
Tag
Tag at Wyland Foundation.
Tag at Wyland Foundation. You guys are better at this than me. All right, but I'm going to sign it now, so you're going to want to sign your painting, and then on the back, put your address. Because if you win, I'm going to send you the original. There's only going to be one winner. All right, let's sign this. So when you sign it, use a smaller brush. And I'm just going to touch up my little puka here. Okay, so here we go. We're going to sign it right now. So I use a little blue and a little white. And anyway, find your spot to sign it. I'm going to sign it right here. So this is the great thing about having one name. So there it is. And I always put a copyright right there. Anyway, there's my original. There's my original for the art lesson. The first time I did this virtually like this for our Wyland National Art Challenge. But I hope I can do this every year now. I'll make it part of it. But listen, on behalf of the Wyland Foundation, Steve Creech, our president, all of us, Marcy, Greg, my art director, just all these great people, and all the people of Wyland Galleries, we love you guys and we appreciate it. And to all the kids out there, you know, just be a world changer. Use the art to drive your creativity, to do good things, to do positive things. And that was fun. Thank you guys so much.